Oh, does Troy need headphones?
No, we should be good. I'm catching him.
Oh, okay.
That's actually cool by now.
Okay, great.
All right.
Okay, great.
He's got a bassier voice, so
Dude.
kind of picks up.
It's all right. So does John.
I got a bass voice, yeah.
My dog hates it.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you again for listening. We are your hosts, Collin Peters.
Bruce Wayne. You were gonna get you there first. All right.
I knew it was gonna be something stupid.
All right, that was in poor taste. I'm sorry. I'm not actually Bruce Wayne. Let me just start that again. John Bruschetta here.
Jeff Manfred.
Troy Schneck.
Troy Schneck, who are you?
Yeah, who is that special guest?
Cameo appearance.
We have a special guest with us. Please welcome to the Asylum, Troy Schneck.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Yeah.
Troy, welcome to the Asylum.
Thanks, man.
So you want to introduce yourself? How you know us? What you do?
I know I worked with Jeff at Olive Garden. How many years ago? Forever ago?
Almost 13 years ago.
Yeah. Met you through him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And through Rocky Horror.
And I was in Rocky Horror.
That's right.
Yeah.
You were in Rocky Horror.
I was.
Yeah, he was.
Who did you play?
Just the Phantom. But
Okay, nice.
We had a lot more fun than the actual cast.
I still have a picture of you and Jeff from that.
I know,
night.
you sent it to me.
I
Yeah.
did? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that was a fun time. Like, the whole month we went, like, every weekend?
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 weekends. And,
Yeah, 4 midnight shows.
Yep. That was a good show. I had a good time.
That was a lot of fun. I remember that. We're going to continue our little theme of the movies that made us. Last time we did Raiders of the Lost Ark, which was one of John's favorite movies.
Good movie.
Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite movies that has been not just my favorite, but an influential movie as well as being a filmmaker and a love for films. And that is actually Tim Burton's 1989 Batman.
I'm excited for this one.
This is the big one that started it. I mean, of course, we had Superman that came in with Christopher Reeve, and then we found out that Batman was actually in the talk after Superman came out, naturally, because of it being a Warner Brothers film and being a popular character from the TV show. And they said this movie was actually a 10-year process because they didn't know the theme that they wanted to take this movie in because of the way the show was so campy and it had such a popularity to
Very
it.
campy.
That they didn't know, should we carry on that theme or should we make Batman a real Batman the way it is?
I'm sorry, would you really want to see this movie as a campy movie?
Listen, we unfortunately got that with Batman and Robin. So
We already got enough of that.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was also, almost 10 years later?
I mean, they actually considered a campy movie where Bill Murray was going to be Batman and Eddie Murphy was Robin.
What?
You know what? I would still watch it. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, it's Bill Murray.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love this movie because I think it has everything that is filmmaking to me. It has practical effects. Yeah, they're dated, but I think you can make this movie now with still limited CGI, and it would still hold up. Like, I still think this movie holds up pretty well to this day.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think so, absolutely.
I think the acting is absolutely fantastic. I mean, this is what started my love for Jack Nicholson. Michael Keaton was absolutely fantastic in it. I mean, I didn't even know Michael Keaton was a comedic actor before this. So to find that out before, or after Batman, I was like, really? So it just went to show the range that he had. Honestly, this was also one of those movies where the first time, because the 80s were so filled with big, hulking, muscular guys in action films, Michael Keaton does not look like that kind of guy at all.
Absolutely not.
And yet he was kicking everybody's ass in this movie. And I heard Tim Burton say in an interview that he liked having Michael Keaton be that kind of guy because then he needed the costume for the theatrical effect, which is basically what that is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's using that element of fear to scare the bad guys away.
Yeah. Now, I know Michael Keaton's casting was initially met with some skepticism, actually quite a bit of skepticism, because a lot of people thought, okay, you want to cast Mr. Mom and Beetlejuice.
They didn't see him as Batman.
As Batman. You're making a mistake right now. Well, I looked into this a little bit more, and they almost made an even bigger mistake. one idea, because you said this was a 10-year process, and in that 10-year process, Warner Brothers was playing with the idea that they wanted to have two actors, one be Bruce Wayne, and the other one being Batman, being the Batman suit, basically doing all the stunt work. And do you know who it was, who they were thinking about putting in the Batman suit?
Lou Ferrigno.
No, none other than...
Dude, I would laugh at that. I'll see some Bruce
Yeah,
Wayne.
I'd laugh at that. No, none other than Mr. Cockpuncher himself, Steven Seagal.
Oh!
Yes,
What?
they were seriously considering having him be as Batman and then have a different actor be Bruce Wayne.
That's horrible.
That's a horrible idea. Thank God it didn't happen. I wish I could make that up, but I'm not.
Honestly, now I'm like thinking of Lou Ferrigno as Batman.
I don't think you can fit that suit on that.
He's a big guy.
Big guy.
And I love Michael Keaton's mentality about everything, because even to this day, this guy, he has played other characters. He's played Vulture in the Spider-Man movie that came out in 2017.
I'm not gonna lie, that's the only reason I saw that movie.
It's because of him as
Michael
Vulture.
Keaton?
Yeah, because everyone's like, yeah, I should see the new Spider-Man. I'm like, absolutely not. I don't need another fucking Spider-Man or another Marvel movie. And they're
Yeah,
like,
but they
well,
finally
Michael
nailed
Keaton.
Spider-Man,
Yeah, and
thank
they're like, well,
God.
Michael Keaton is a really good villain. I go, wait, Michael Keaton's in it?
Maybe I will give this a shot.
Yeah.
But not just that, but like in interviews and even at college commencement speeches, to this day, he still says, I'm Batman. He still says, I'm Batman. In fact, I believe that when the day comes when Michael Keaton does leave this earth, the final words he's going to say before he dies is, I'm Batman. And then he passes away.
It'd be his epitaph on his gravestone.
Well, Bob Kane, the creator of Batman, on his tombstone, he has the bat signal.
I saw that, actually.
That's really wild.
That's great. Did this movie scare you when you were a kid?
Yeah, that's another reason why I love this movie. It has like elements of everything in it. It has a bit of a love story, has some humor, costumes. The Danny Elfman score is also fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
True.
The action is fun. It's not like the greatest in your face, but it's like so brutal and just, oh man, it kicks ass. And then, yeah, I was scared at times as a kid about it. Like, I think one of the scariest things was when Jack Nicholson plays a character named Jack Napier, who's a gangster, and he gets plunged into a vat of chemicals, which is based around the story of the Killing Joke, of how the Joker became the Joker. It was this chemical vat that bleached his skin and just totally made his mental capacity just off the charts more than what it already was.
Fried his brain like an egg, yeah.
And I just thought, like, seeing him falling into that vat was scary, and then his hand popped up out of the... Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, all discolored and like
yeah, I
the black
forgot about
nails.
that.
Yeah.
The ripped glove.
But it was so cool because that Art Deco noir, the sets were also, like, so cool. I mean, that, to me, was Gotham City. That was straight out of the comic book pages come to life. You know, like, you got a sense that it was art, it was its own thing. And like they said, they didn't really place it in 1989, nor did they place it in the 1940s or 50s.
Yeah, they didn't date it.
It was its own thing, which I think really helps with the dating of it, actually. Like, you can't pinpoint a certain era, but you can still say, especially with the technology in movies now, that it shows its age, not just from some of the effects. Like, I think one of the most visual effects that looks so dated is probably when the shields go on the Batmobile.
Oh, that like slide effect.
Yeah.
There's also a part at the very beginning where it looks like Batman's animated after the woman screams.
Yes, that did look a little odd to me. It does look animated, absolutely. It's that mugging that took place in the street, and then the dad just got knocked out by the one goon, and then
he hears the mom, and then that's when he just turns around, and all you see is this rooftop, and it's like a little silhouette, and the shadow even behind him kind of looks like a cartoon.
I'm not gonna lie, it's probably like one of the cheesiest moments of that entire movie, but it still has the same effect.
Yeah, but you mentioned, Jack Nicholson's performance and him getting dropped in the vat, that was terrifying to me. But also what was more terrifying was Batman getting shot, thinking that he was dead. Not just once, but twice. I kept thinking as a kid, like, oh my god, they just killed Batman, he's dead! What the hell, man? Like, that shit freaked me out. And the fact that he acted like he was dead, but he was just playing possum the whole time before he beats the shit out of them. There was also another weird moment, and this is moments later in the movie when Jack Nicholson, as Jack Napier, shows up at Vicky Vale's apartment. He leaves her a present. She opens the present, and then a fucking hand bursts out of it.
With the dead flowers.
The dead flowers. I kept thinking of the witches for some reason, Roland Dahl's witches with like mannequins and like porcelain doll faces and shit like that. That freaked me out.
Which they had porcelain doll faces in it. Jack Nicholson used that on his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alicia.
It's like not Harley Quinn, Alicia.
Well, Harley Quinn didn't exist at that time.
It was almost 10 years later.
Which was, the animated series was influenced by Tim Burton's Batman '89. I mean, this movie influenced so much stuff that, I mean, from the mass marketing, they said that you really didn't have a whole lot of Batman merchandise at that time. There was some, but they said this movie was just a firestorm of a phenomenon.
It really was. I mean, I'm much older than you guys, so, but I don't remember much being around at that point, unless you were in a comic book store. But
even then, it really wasn't a big thing.
No.
Like, it was kind of.
But this movie made it like mainstay. Like you could go find it wherever. So
I heard that they said that the posters for the movie were being stolen from bus stations, and they had to keep replenishing them.
Seriously?
People would go to movies, like they call up movie theaters and say, "Hey, is the Batman trailer playing?" And then they'd leave after they saw the trailer. They would pay to go see a movie and leave. And then at conventions, they said they had the trailer for sale for like $25 or something on VHS.
What?
They'd buy it.
Oh my god.
They said it was crazy how like this Batmania phenomenon was just taking place, and they said they knew they just had something.
And they did have something. It was a huge financial hit. I think it made over $400 million on a very small budget of something.
I wouldn't say small. I think at that time it was a very big movie. I mean, it's probably small now.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Now, at the time, Box Office Mojo says that it was $35 million.
For that movie?
It was made for $35 million and it grossed $411 million worldwide.
Wow.
That's kind of crazy, though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. That seems small.
It does seem small, but and then the sequels, of course, they were amped in terms of the budget.
Well, yeah,
like the Batman Forever, or not Batman Forever, Batman Returns, I think was not twice as much, but it was probably like an extra 25, 30 million more, I think, because you have more names in there as well. It's larger scale.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Even Jack Nicholson, he got paid, I think it was like $5 to $6 million or something, and that was astronomical at the time.
Yeah, he got top billing.
But not only that, he also had something in his contract where he got a cut of merchandise and future sequels, so he's set for life.
Smart man.
Mm-hmm.
I think he even said something to Danny DeVito when he was doing Batman Returns, because they're friends. He said, "Yo, try to get a contract like mine." Like, yeah, dude, who wouldn't want that?
Seriously.
He cashed in.
I actually know a couple of people that did that, like more recently. I think Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot did that for their movies.
I would too.
Yeah,
they get a small thing up front, and so let's say like 50,000, whatever, and then they get a cut of the movie at the end. I'm like, I'd prefer that contract over. Oh, you only get this much.
Cut of the movie.
Because these movies are basically guaranteed successes. That's another reason why they were so like into getting this movie made, because they already had hype from the comics, they already had hype from the TV show, that they knew they didn't it was almost like doing a sequel without it actually being a sequel, is what they said. So there was all this hype and plethora around it that they knew they had a current going forward, and there was a demand to see a real Batman movie. And I didn't realize this, but Batman was the pioneer of the big opening weekend, and then they just kind of like drift away.
Oh,
interesting.
There was a documentary about that where they said studios realized that if you can hype the shit out of a movie in its opening weekend, make a bunch of your money then, and just let it phase out, then you got it made. And then it also gave you a chance to have another movie from your company come out a little sooner possibly, and then that's what started the ball rolling for. You got to hype it in its opening weekend, get everybody to come out, and then let it do its thing. Because before it was just the summer blockbuster where they just kind of like kept dragging on.
When you get a movie into your theater, you're contracted to have that movie for 2 weeks. After that, if it's not doing well, you can get rid of it.
Oh, really?
So I think that's where that might be coming from.
I can see that.
Yeah.
That's still around to this day. I know some movies have only been around for 2 weeks, and then they're gone. And
Yeah,
they're not
but
doing
when
well.
you get that movie in, you are contracted to have it for 2 weeks.
And speaking of the casting, do you guys know, besides Michael Keaton and the controversy around him, that they actually had a pretty darn good list of actors who they considered to be the Joker?
really?
They considered Robin Williams, Willem Dafoe, and believe it or not, Tim Curry. Usually when you hear a list of people, they're like, there's only one obvious choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that list there's really not.
No.
Honestly, between William Dafoe and Tim Curry, that's a big...
Hell yeah.
That's two different personalities, too. So
yes.
you might have had a more sinister look with William Dafoe, because he doesn't really need the smile makeup. And
if you see him in Green Goblin, yeah, you already
Tim Curry played it, so or Pennywise.
And Tim Curry was considered to do the voice of Joker in the animated series later on, but they thought he sounded too sinister, and then they heard Mark Hamill, and he got gypped over it.
I see.
Supposedly, Robin Williams was going to get it, because Jack Nicholson had turned it down.
I heard that too.
And then when Jack came in, that's when they ditched Robin Williams. Because I guess there was a talk about how Robin Williams was also supposed to be Riddler then, and he said every time a Batman movie came around, he always got jumped. So I think it was when Dark Knight Rises came out, I heard him say, like, get Chris Nolan, I don't care if I'm an inmate at an asylum, just put me in somewhere in a Batman movie.
I think that would be funny to see, too.
Give me, like, 2 lines, like Ben Stiller's wife. But yeah, you've got Jack Nicholson, you've got Kim Basinger.
Which, she wasn't the original Vicky Vale either.
I can believe that, but she was very good in this movie, though. I'm sure there were other people lined up as well.
Listen to this. Kim Basinger was actually picked, like, 2 days before filming. They originally had actress Sean Young, and she was on horseback.
Mm-hmm. Wait, is it the one from... Blade Runner?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura. Yeah.
Stripes.
I could see that, though, but I don't know about the blonde hair.
I don't even know if she was going to keep it in that or not.
I don't know.
But
you said she was on horse. Did she have an accident?
Yeah, she fell off a horse, and then she couldn't do the project because she got hurt. And they said they were just... It was more of like, who's an actress who can come to London...
Scrambling
in like 2 days.
Right.
And then they said, well, how about Kim Basinger? And I honestly... Like, everybody in this movie, I cannot see anybody different. I mean, I've seen this movie way over 100 times.
Yeah.
It's easily, like, if you don't know what to put on, just put on Batman. This is, like, my go-to movie.
That's your go-to movie?
For everything. Well, it has everything in it, like I said. There's great music, there's horror, there's action, there's some comedy, there's a love story. I feel like you can even watch this movie in Halloween. Because it actually has a Halloween theme to it, where Jack Nicholson's the bad... evil spirit, he's manic, and then Batman is like us in the costumes to scare away the scary things. So it's kind of got this Halloween theme to it.
That's it. Absolutely.
There's also a deleted scene where Batman saves a little girl, and when he puts her off to the side, she says to him, "Is it Halloween?" and he just smirks and walks away. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like this is also totally a Halloween movie with like an underlining Halloween tone to it that we don't really see on the surface, but it is what it is.
If that opening theme and those opening credits don't get you pumped in the first 5 minutes, something is wrong with you. You've got Danny Elfman's pounding score just building and building and building, and then you're navigating through the bat symbol. You don't realize it's the bat symbol until it goes on Tim Burton's name as the director, but it's just energetic. Right off the bat, this movie just hits you, and I love it.
Very. And then when you get that wide shot after the symbol and the credits, and you just see Gotham City, and you're just like, holy shit, this is his own place? This looks amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, Batman. I mean, I like in this movie that Batman is already established as Batman, and that it wasn't an origin story. I mean, we've already gotten, enough origin stories that have happened years down the road, but I actually really like in this one, he's already established as Batman. Basically, the plot of this is him trying to rid Gotham of crime, and his first nemesis is Jack Napier, who becomes the Joker.
There's a crime boss played very well, by the way, by Jack Palance, or Jack Palance.
Yep, plays
I have
Boss
a personal
Grissom.
connection to him. He's a friend of my family, actually.
Is he really?
Yeah. He used to be sitting at my grandparents' dining room table when I would go over.
Jack Palance?
Yeah, he's from Hazleton.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
No way!
Yeah. My grandfather built player pianos from scratch, and he sold Jack a piano. So that's how they became friends.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All these years, I never knew
It
that.
didn't click at the time, because I just recognized the voice because he used to host Ripley's Believe It or Not on TV. Back in the day. But yeah, I know Jack Palance.
That's incredible.
That's really wild,
Yeah.
Troy.
We just recently watched In Search of Darkness 2, and he's this movie called Alone in the Dark. Him, Martin Landau, and Donald Pleasance going ape shit. I think they're psychotic murderers. I need to see this movie though.
That's awesome.
So Jack Palance plays Carl Grissom, who's like the big mob boss in Gotham City, and he's feeling the pressure from the cops coming down on his throat. And of course, Batman wants to put a stop to him. And you got Billy D. Williams as Harvey Dent. Forgot to mention him.
That's right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. I was so disappointed that he never did get to become Two-Face, because I think he would have been a fucking awesome.
He would have been awesome.
And I know he was excited about it. Billy D. Williams even said one of the reasons why I wanted to play Harvey Dent was because I wanted to play Two-Face later on. And they said sequels weren't even a thing. I mean, like, they existed, but they really weren't taken seriously. And
they were thought of as inferior. They were never going to match the original.
Franchise wasn't a big term that they threw around. They even said that was another reason why they didn't want Robin in the movie, because they thought it would just get too convoluted. And I was, looking back on it, I was really glad that they didn't do it. I remember my dad always saying, "You don't fucking need Robin."
It's true, though.
Yeah.
I mean, at least Billy D. Williams got to voice Two-Face in the Lego Batman movie. At least he got, like, a small little, like, let's get you back in as Two-Face. It may not be what you originally wanted, but, hey, this is better than nothing.
You know what, though? With the way Billy D. Williams looks, I still think he could play a really good Harvey Dent Two-Face to this day.
I think he could.
With him being an older gentleman, definitely it'd fit kind of the era, because even if, let's just say they used Ben Affleck still as Batman, he's an older Batman, too, so it kind of fits the timeline.
True.
So, and I'd see it. Yeah. I'd love to see Harvey. Billy D. is Harvey. I think he's a fantastic actor. I don't think he gets the credit that he does. But every time I saw him on the screen, I was like, yo, dude, Billy D. Williams. And he played a fantastic Harvey Dent. He had that suave, really likable kind of guy. You could tell he was like really gung-ho in the movie. For the limited time he did have on screen, that he did want to clean up the city. Like, there's that one part where he's on the phone and the mayor's breathing down his neck, and he's like, "I'm working on it."
Yeah.
You know, just the little stuff that goes a long way. I just thought Billy D. Williams did perfectly. It's like everybody in this movie. Michael Gough is Alfred.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A veteran actor with, Tim Burton's projects. I mean, he's been in a lot of his work later down the road. Good old William Hootkins as Lieutenant Eckhart. I mean, you didn't think it was him until you match his IMDb list to his other credits. That this is the guy who was Porkins in Star Wars, and he was the top man guy in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He has such a varied career, but it's incredible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how often do you get the chance to be part of, like, 3 major franchises? No matter how big or small, you're still part of 3 major franchises. Yeah. And in the best ones yet. He's in, like, all the originals.
Unless your name's Ian McKellen, that usually doesn't happen, so.
I just love that one line he has, "Where you've been spending your nights." After that interaction with Jack Napier, because Harvey Dent's breathing down everyone's throat, and they're, snooping around and invading some territory, so it's some bad news bears for them.
Yes, it is. And Grissom knows it. And he knows that Jack Nicholson plays Jack Napier, not to be confused. Jack is Jack, and Jack Palance is Carl. So just to clear that up. And Jack is Carl's right-hand guy. And what happens is Carl found out that Jack is sleeping with his lady friend.
Mistress, I don't know. Whatever you want to call her.
Yeah. So he actually sets Jack up in the chemical factory. And Batman comes in, ruins the evening, actually wants to capture Jack so that the police can get him to get after Grissom, but it fails when Jack shoots at Batman, and Batman has the bullet ricochet, and it has, like, shards of glass from, like, the valve stems or something.
Yeah.
Hits Jack in the face, he goes overboard, boom, he falls into the chemical vat.
And you find out that Carl Grissom has Lieutenant Eckhart in his pocket, and he tips off to the other cops, whatever, where Jack's going to be. So, and then, Jack Napier kind of gets his revenge and kills Eckhart in that skirmish that happens before he gets dropped into the vat.
And then when he comes back, he realizes that he's all disfigured, and he just takes matters into his own hands. Mm-hmm. So he kills Grissom and basically takes over everything that's Carl Grissom's posse, and then he forms the Joker clan.
That's actually a really terrifying scene when you find out that Jack Napier stumbles into Carl Grissom's office, and you just see a silhouette, How it was
awesome.
It was all you set me up over a woman.
Yeah, I do love that.
A woman.
Must be insane.
But I know there's some people don't notice this, but there is a little goof. There's a little bit of purple makeup that was like on his neck. I think that was probably like an issue from the wardrobe. When you see Jack Nicholson's face,
what happened with that was he actually had white makeup on his coat collar.
okay,
And they said instead of using like a remover to remove the white, they put purple boot polish on the coat. And then that's why it got on the neck.
and that's what got on his neck.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what happened with that.
Before he
I
shoots him to death.
kind of looked at it as, if you wanted to look at it in a practical movie terms, that maybe the ink was still like running on his coat because of the chemical vat, and it just kind of bleached him like that. But now that I know the true story behind it, I'm like, okay, hey, whatever. I can use my mind and expand horizons.
Yeah, gotcha.
During an event that the Joker presents himself to the whole world, basically, he recognizes Vicky Vale, and then he finds out who she is and wants to set up a date with her. And then Batman, Michael Keaton, he's involved with Vicky Vale, and he finds out that she's going to this museum, and she's thinking she's going to meet Bruce Wayne there. And he's like, wait, I'm not meeting her tonight. And that's how he gets involved. And then he saves the day, saves her from Joker.
All that good stuff.
All that good stuff.
But I know Vicky Vale, she's new in town. I think that was what's set up in the very beginning. It's her and Alexander Knox, who's this reporter at the...
Played by Robert Wool.
Robert Wool, yes.
At the Gotham Globe.
That's right. I was going to say Gotham Globe. What is the name of the paper company? Okay, Gotham Globe.
No, he hasn't seen this at all.
No.
Also, if you notice at one point in the Gotham Globe, when that one reporter, I believe he's a cartoonist, he says, yo, Knox, I got something for you. And it's a picture of a Batman because Knox is all looking for the Batman. If you ever noticed, it says in the corner of the signature, it says Bob Kane.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's really cool. You just got to put more gore on the fangs, though. What a dick. He is really funny, though, in this movie.
Robert Wool. Oh, my God.
I thought, like,
fantastic.
if he had too much freedom, he probably could have, like, tarnished a section of the movie. But no, I think he's suitably fine and funny for this role.
He stays in his lane.
He does. Stays in his lane. And when he needs to be serious, he is serious in the movie, especially when it comes to just getting down their deadline and trying to find out who is this guy, who is Bruce Wayne, who is Batman, because nobody's taking them seriously. Cops don't take them seriously. They just think, guy slipped on a banana peel.
Yeah, because at this point they haven't seen him yet.
Right. And I even like in that one fundraiser sequence that even Bruce Wayne tells Vicky Vale that he's not Bruce Wayne, that he's somebody else. I love that reveal.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. That big reveal of all the elaborate costume pieces and all the decoration that he's found from all over the globe.
And they're just ragging on him like, oh, this guy must be the most worthless guy in America.
It's Japanese because I bought it in Japan.
And then, who are you? Oh, I'm Bruce Wayne.
I love the fact that even he's like, can I have a grant? And then Alfred walks like, hey, get this man a grant, and I gotta go.
Nice talking with you, Wayne.
The rich. You know why they're Sir Wad? Because they can afford to be.
Yeah, and then you said Jack Nicholson, Jack Napier. I keep wanting to say Jack Nicholson, Jack Napier.
Jack.
Yeah, Jack takes over until Grissom recuperates. I'm the acting president, and I say we run the city into the ground. Did you also get terrified by that buzzer sequence?
Yes.
Turns the man into a smoking skeleton.
Oh, there'll be a hot time in the old town tonight.
Doesn't he get like give a stupid smile? Goes, man, it's hot in here.
That's why I got a little hot under the collar.
I think.
Are you crazy? Have you ever heard of the healing power of laughter? It's fantastic. The lines are. Oh my God,
they really are.
Oh, his lines are amazing.
I think after I watched it a number of times as a kid, instead of being terrified, all I want to do is imitate his exact laughter. Because it was just so suitably fun, yet terrifying, yet all these emotions. I just wanted to imitate Jack Nicholson's laughter and reenact these scenes because it's so funny. Because this is a guy that has nothing to lose right now. This guy basically is, it's like Tim Burton said, you can have free range to do whatever you like to do.
Jack
for this role.
Nicholson cared about the part. He said he actually was a fan of the comic book.
Mhm.
And he was the one who said that originally they wanted to make his hair really bright and green, and he said, no, I think you need to make it darker because it's more of a lighting effect.
Yeah.
And he said, I think he does need to be a little more serious and brutal, but yet don't worry, I'll put humor into it, just put your faith in me. And Tim Burton even said that he had like the big execs breathing down his throat, because Tim Burton was, I don't know, like 28 or something.
He was young.
He was
he
really
was young.
only did 2 major motion pictures at that time, Pee-wee and Beetlejuice. So this was a big undertaking for him. And they said that Jack Nicholson was really supportive to Tim Burton, which I thought was really cool to have a veteran actor like Jack, who had so much respect for Hollywood at that time, to say to Tim, listen, we got your back.
Right.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
And especially with him having so many movies already under his belt, like even The Shining alone is like a big thing. One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and even if you could go all the way back to the original Little Shop of Horrors, I mean, dude is
Oh my God, I
got
forgot
some
about
range.
that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
First
God,
role ever.
Wasn't he in Terms of Endearment too? Wasn't he at that point? Or was that after that?
Might be after.
He did a couple things. He did a couple things for did some low budget horror movies as well. One was The Terror with Boris Karloff. That was like one of his first roles.
Well, at that
as
point
well.
in Hollywood, everyone was in at least a B-rated horror movie
Yeah.
at some point.
Everybody has done something.
I was
at
like,
this
because that's
point.
how you got your career. Was like, oh, we're gonna give you a shitty movie, at least get you in the door, and
Right.
then kind of work your way up. Where him, he just was like, yo, he just kept going higher.
And this role did change him mentally as well.
Well, I had also read that Jack, he's kind of like a free spirit when it came to movies. Like, he did what he wanted to do. It wasn't, here's a bunch of money, now do this. It was like, no, you really had to sell him on something. And I heard them say that he probably could have made a lot more money from movies if he would have just picked things that would have been a success. But he said he's kind of like one of those, no, I want to do what which it explains why he's Jack Nicholson, because, you know, you watch his stuff and you go, man, this is so good, because it was what he wanted. It wasn't like just bullshit for
Like,
money.
hold on, did he really want to do Anger Management? I mean, I feel like that one was just for money.
I think he was
Hey, listen.
hands down the best part of that movie.
Listen, weren't you the one telling me that for Dr. Sleep he couldn't remember his lines?
Yeah.
Maybe this was the beginning of the decline, was when Anger Management.
Well, I gotta pay for some therapy. Adam Sandler, what are you doing?
So that might explain some things now.
Oh my god.
I did hear Jack Palance was actually pretty rough with Tim Burton, though.
I could see that.
Believe it or not, I do read Playboy. When Tim Burton was
Wait,
in a...
you actually read the words?
Yeah.
Wait, there's words in that book?
But he had an interview, I think it was in 2001, and he talked about how Jack Palance was supposed to come out of the bathroom in the scene before he got shot, and he said he just wouldn't come out. He would say action, and Palance wasn't coming, and he finally said, like, hey, you know, is everything okay? And he just kind of got weird and was like, you know, I've done so many films, I don't need a little shit like you telling me what to do. And he was like, I don't even know what I'm doing, just my job.
Yeah.
Well, technically, isn't it his job to direct you where you're supposed to go?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hence the name director.
And there he was acting like Axl Rose, like, I'm not going on stage now. Okay.
My doctor says smoking is bad for me.
Yeah.
We keep going back from like one terrifying scene after another, and then when he shows up like outside the courthouse where the one goon is talking about how he's taking over for Carl Grissom, and then he throws the feather right into his neck. Like, oh my god, did he just straight up kill him with a feather?
The pen is truly mightier than the sword.
And then the cops get gunned down by the mines and everything, and then you see, and I didn't pick up on this only a handful of times, but then Bruce Wayne gets shot in the arm, and he doesn't even flinch.
No, it's badass.
You
He
know
gets
why?
shot in the arm.
Because he's fucking Batman.
Because
That's
he's
because
Batman.
he's fucking Batman. And
That's-
people will think, okay, he's traumatized. His parents were killed when he was a very young age, and nothing really affects him anymore. No, it's the fucking bullet that shoots him in the shoulder.
And that's when he first realizes that Joker is Jack Napier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he kind of like zones out there for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's when he goes back to Alfred, and Alfred already had the water, and Alfred's talking to him and asking him, what's bothering you? He's talking about Vicky Vale to him, and he says, Alfred, I just found out Jack Napier's still alive. And then just like that, Michael Goff just changes his demeanor in his face, and he says, I think he's running the mob. I need all the information. Alfred's like, I'm on it.
And that's another great thing about this movie is that it really does sell the fact that Batman is a detective.
Yes.
Because he absolutely does a ton of detective work in this movie. Cracking down the Joker's poison code, and then giving the information to Vicky Vale, and then just doing research on his own in the Batcave, and finding out all he can about Jack Napier. He has the files in front of him, the demented TV commercial that happens in sync with the newscast segment. How he, oh my God, yeah, the one news anchor dies from just having like a malicious smile, a toxic reaction, yeah.
The traditional Joker smile is her death.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Oh, not this guy. He's been using Brand X.
Smile.
And I love the fact that because of him poisoning the makeup and hairspray and all that stuff, you see down the road that the news anchors aren't wearing anything. They look like straight up shit.
Oh, you can see the zits and the pores on their faces. Yeah.
It was bad.
Everyone's freaked out, and that's the reason why this 200th anniversary doesn't want to happen, or at least the mayor wants it to still happen, but people are afraid. People are terrified. And that's why, you got Harvey Dent trying to keep everyone calm and basically trying to keep it under wraps.
Well, not just under wraps, but they're trying to protect everybody.
Mm-hmm. Joker, at the same time, is not very happy that Batman's getting all this press. And how dare you compare him to me? I've got this flair, I've got makeup, I've got pizzazz, and I've got charisma. He's at home washing his tights.
Yeah, because he officially takes over.
Yeah.
What did he have? 10 million in cash, he says?
20 million in cash.
20 million in cash.
20 million in cash.
And he's like, I'm going to throw it all out into the crowd.
And he does.
Yeah.
And you see everybody turning off their radios, like, oh shit, where are we meeting this guy at?
Power of greed, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's one of the most powerful moments. Like you said, greed, and all these people are just grabbing it out of the air. Him and Bob are just here.
Bob the Goon.
I actually read one of the concept scripts to that, and one of the funny things is when he throws the money, the people look down, and here it's actually got the Joker's face on it.
It's Joker money, yeah.
That's what I thought it was the whole time. I'm like, is he really just throwing out money? Or
this is something he's always wanted. My face on the $1 bill. And he gets it.
Well, look at the name of the Prince song. It was called Trust. From the parade. That's the song that was playing.
That's right. Prince was a contributor to this movie in terms of coming up with some tunes.
I do too.
I was like, what? Didn't they have 2 soundtracks for this? So they had the Danny Elfman.
They had the score and then the
Prince.
Yeah.
I have that one too. Well, I gotta admit, my mom. Everybody knows that my mom had me and my siblings. We all did modeling and dance competitions and performing arts type stuff. My mom had my sister and I actually do competitions to the Prince songs. I know at one point I think at one point Farrell was Joker, and at one point I was Joker then. And we even had a legit dude. The costume looked legit like Jack Nicholson's. I even had that little painter hat that he had when he goes into the museum.
Yeah.
I don't remember the dance at all, but
I had the squirting flower for a while.
Nice. And that was a tribute to the comics, I believe, when they actually ransack the museum and they destroy all the artwork. Wasn't that a throwback to the show back in the 60s, or was that a comic?
I know there was definitely a lot of throwbacks to the show, because there is an episode where the Cesar Romero Joker does go to an art museum and he does ruin everything.
Yes.
And in that episode, there is a little Joker bust where it's got the hair painted green and the red lips, and you see the one dude painting the bust and it's got the green hair and the red lips on that. They do that with pretty much all the movies, or at least some that I can think of, the good ones anyway.
Yeah. The Dark Knight, the clown masks are reminiscent
that was wore by the Joker
60s.
and by Cesar Romero. And there was an episode in the old 60s show where the Penguin runs for mayor, and what does the Penguin do in Batman Returns? He runs for mayor.
Honestly, even with those being done in the 60s, those storylines actually will fit across time, because all that's always going to happen. There's always going to be corruption. There's always going to be greed. There's always going to be that out there. And then Batman being a staple point in history is always going to fight those problems.
I keep going back to this because this movie truly is terrifying in so many ways. Because then you get the Joker's first interaction with Vicky Vale, looking at her. That was at the museum, right after you get the museum desecration, if you want to call it that. But it just leads to some of these great lines. I am the world's most fully functional homicidal artist. I want my face on the $1 bill. And then his girl shows up wearing the creepy ass porcelain mask, and then you see her face is completely deformed. It's ugh.
Well, I'm no Picasso, but do you like it? When they're ruining all those paintings and Bob's getting ready to slash the one and he stops him and he goes, I kind of like this one, Bob. Leave it. Which, I got a really cool story about that. That painting is called Figure with Meat by Sir Francis Bacon. And I had a project that I did in college with a group of people where we were in a competition and we had to go to Chicago. And I forget if The Dark Knight came out before or after. And one of my teachers actually showed us parts of Chicago where they filmed Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. Yeah. We even went through the tunnels where they filmed the Batmobile chase.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
She took us to the museum where Sir Francis Bacon's painting of Figure with Meat was. And I was like, no shit. So there was another Batman correlation.
Good taste.
And ironically enough, I think I wore a Batman shirt that day.
I'm shocked.
There should be like a picture opportunity right there. Yeah. That should have been a photo op moment right there. Joker has a good entrance. His entrance is good. Batman's was better. Going through the skyline in full costume. Where does he get those toys? How does he come up with those toys? Those wonderful toys.
And then we get the introduction of the Batmobile, which, oh my god, how could you not love that Batmobile?
You had the Batmobile and the Batwing.
Batwing at the very end.
The Batwing, yeah.
I still have the die-cast models of the old Batmobile and the Batwing. Yeah, I love the Batwing.
Yeah, so that reminds me of a story about the Batwing.
Yes!
So Collin had a model of the Batwing, and he was running out of space, and he gave it to me. And as soon as I had it in my hands, he's like, hey, this is yours. It fell out of my hands and broke. I was just like, I am so sorry.
No, the story was, yeah, this is for you, Jeff. And he goes, oh, thanks, man. Oh! Literally like that. Like, not even a second.
The funny thing is, I did not know how it fell out of my hands. Like, it literally was just like, boop.
Your hands just turned into trapdoors.
I think he was just so amazed by, like, yo, I get a Batwing? Because it was really cool. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I got the die-cast model. I put this together, so... Because that was big.
Yeah,
pretty big.
It's about, what? Is it the length of my arm?
Probably.
So.
I actually saw the model that they used of the Batwing at the Planet Hollywood in New York.
That thing's massive.
Oh, that's it is there. Yeah, I've seen that too.
It is huge. Yeah, it is huge.
The crazy thing about that, they also had a Lego version of that about that size.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That's what they did for I think it was the 25th anniversary. For the 30th, they released the Batmobile about, I want to say, the length of this table. I don't know what it'll say, 3 foot in length.
Huh.
And the thing was, like, and it came with a smaller version, so you can display that too. So it was only for a certain amount of time you get both Batmobiles.
Wow, that's awesome.
It was like I was looking for it because I'm like, why not? And then, yeah, no, dude, it sold out almost instantly.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah, go figure. That was actually my first remote control car. Was the Tim Burton Batmobile.
Mine was the General Lee.
Can you say General Lee now?
Yes.
Who knows?
Okay.
You can say
I can. I don't know.
We just did. But I want to say, even Batman had to be a trendsetter because that damn remote control he had for the Batmobile, he could command it to say shields off, stop. It's pretty much that's going on nowadays. You can tell your car what you want it to do. Yeah. Move, stop, and Batman did it first.
Also, the Batmobile that they, or the car that I should say that they used to build that Batmobile was actually a chassis of a Chevy Impala. And the roar that it gave was from a real Impala engine.
I believe it.
Very cool.
And the funny thing was, Tim Burton saw the model and everything, and he said, everything about it looks great, but where's the door? And the guy was like, oh. he didn't know how to build the door.
So wait, that explains why the top opens?
Originally, it was going to open up.
Okay.
Or it was going to open forward. And then they said they saw the Harrier jump jet and
it makes more sense, though, like sliding forward instead of lifting up. Because trying to jump into that, you're just like, oh.
Yeah.
And that
they said they had to build another hood because his ears were too big.
Oh.
Okay.
And the round lights were actually taken from a Ferrari, I think, and they just stuck them on there. So they didn't like some of the stuff wasn't like just custom made for the movie. They just actually took what they could find. So the Batmobile's like a DIY.
Love it.
But it's awesome, man. I love that car. That and the 60s one, I think, are the...
Well, that one's iconic, though.
Both of them look amazing. I think the best one, though, that we've seen is probably from Batman Begins. As far as what it can do. But the two ones that look the greatest, I'd say.
I don't like that one at all.
The Tumbler.
Yeah, the Tumbler. I mean, I like what it can do, but as far as, like, the aesthetics and the James Bondish gadgets, the 60s and the 89 one...
Oh, yeah.
They're there, man.
The black and red 60s model.
Yeah. I sat in that.
I love even like...
All right.
Oh,
did you hold the bomb?
I did not.
I held the bomb.
Gotta love it. Just going down that abandoned road, then it just emerges into the Batcave.
Oh, with the Danny Elfman music.
Oh, yeah.
So cool. And he's not saying a damn thing to Vicky Vale. She's just like, where are we going? He just ignores her.
He doesn't say one word.
And then when he just steps on the gas pedal and the music just kicks and you see the Batmobile just boom!
Right under the waterfall.
Fucking badass.
It's great. And that drop when the Batmobile does park and the lights go on that Batcave, holy shit, it's like a 30-foot drop to nothing.
And it's actually one of the few times where the Batcave is actually in a cave, because a lot of the other movies it's like a basement or a sub-basement.
Yeah.
This one's like here.
This one's
it's
actually
under the
like
house.
subterranean.
Yeah.
And I love the Bat. Like everything about this movie, I love, from the city to the costumes to the music. I wanted to see so much more of that Batcave because I thought there was so much more to see. And then when Batman Returns came out, it was almost like the continuity just wasn't there at all. Like the house was different. So you had some of the actors, of course, but so much was just so different with it that I was like, oh, I mean, the cave was totally different from.
I do agree.
And I was disappointed in that. Like I still to this day want to see more of that Tim Burton '89 world, because I just think there's just such a raw aesthetic with it that just worked. Like everything about that movie to me as a Batman movie was damn near perfect. That's why I still look at it as the best one to this day. I mean, yeah, it's flawed. The costume definitely looks like it was a wetsuit with the mold glued on it. I mean, you can see it more.
But it did not have bat nipples.
But I also liked how the leather cape actually looked like leather wings, and everything was like really raw and gritty, and he had abs, so he was actually like a Batman. It wasn't just filled with armor. It was a scary looking costume.
It wasn't a super soldier look. Yeah.
I also saw the original cowls when I went to New York City at the Museum of Modern Art. They had a Tim Burton exhibit, and he had 3 of them there from his own personal collection. And they're still holding up really well.
Yeah,
good.
I think that was really cool. And then seeing Catwoman's outfit.
Yeah.
The carriage for Penguin.
That was there.
I think there was something else.
Oh, the rubber ducky.
No.
It was the actual carriage when they throw
the baby carriage.
Yeah, that was there.
I think actually you're the reason I went to that one.
Yeah, it was. So I was like, Jeff, you'll never believe where I was.
I think it was like in the following weekend. I ended up going to like whatever.
Shit, I would have went up to
But it was like one of those things like seeing the stuff up close, like just the cows alone, because I think they had 2 from the first one and 1 from the second one.
I don't remember. I know. I thought they were all 3 from the first one, to tell you the truth.
Might have been. I think it was like just because of like it was with some of the stuff from 2. Like you're seeing all this cool stuff like right up close, and it was like damn, like just seeing like the little bits of detail he thought of while creating all this stuff.
And that latex smells.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, it's not like sulfur, but man, you could.
Yeah, but anytime you wear leather or anything like that and you sweat in it, it's gonna smell.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can see the cracks now because it's been aged, but I mean,
of course.
That was 2009 or something.
Yeah.
So it's going past 10 years now.
Damn.
So, I don't know what it looks like now, but then it looks all right. But that was really wild.
As we mentioned before, that this definitely doesn't get the origin story treatment for Batman, which I do appreciate that. He's already established Batman, but you do get the flashback to him as a kid with him and his parents walking down that infamous alley. And one thing that changes up in this movie is that Jack Napier is the one that actually killed his parents, when in the comics that wasn't the case.
And you know what? I know like a lot of people who didn't read the comics feel like that was the true origin. People who do read the comics feel like that's like a travesty. How could you do that? But I thought it was perfect for the movie because it's not supposed to be a franchise. This was just kind of like a one and done, and we'll see what happens with it.
Well, then you have to take some kind of creative license too, because you have to get the people in there, like you said, don't read the comics and want to experience the movie.
Yeah.
And why not take his greatest adversary and be the thing that created him to turn him into this character?
It makes a juicier story. It gives it more gusto, if you want to call it that.
Exactly.
Yeah, because like being a Joker fan, I don't like the fact that he has an origin. I don't think he should, but it doesn't take anything away from the movie for me at all.
No. But honestly, it fits better too, because like you're the one who created Batman. He's not then later becomes the one that creates the monster, and which is a kind of a cool thought process.
And they actually say that face to face. Because I made you, you made me first.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't understand that until I got older, because then I put 2 and 2 together. Because I wish they would have gotten Nicholson to play both parts, because the younger version of Napier is not.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
definitely not.
And it would have clicked better until I got older enough to realize it's the same character. He's supposed to be younger. Fucking like what, 30 years younger? I'm like, it's Jack Nicholson. Who gives a fuck?
He was a kid when he killed his parent. That's what he says.
And
how childish can you get?
But as you say, have you ever danced with the devil of the pale moonlight? Is what makes the whole fucking thing come full circle. It's like, oh fuck.
Because Dancing with the Devil by the Pale Moonlight was the line he gave Bruce Wayne in Vicky Vale's apartment when he shot Bruce Wayne, and then Michael Keaton played that so perfectly. I mean, damn man, Michael Keaton was spot on in this movie. And then, like you said, that's when it clicked, and then you get the flashback and you hear it. Then you're like, no.
Yeah.
And that's when, like, audiences just...
This comes full circle. Now, I actually think, I could be wrong about this, but that moment where he grabs the fireplace poker and smashes the one vase, you want to get nuts? Come on. Was that improvised? Was that improvised? I don't think that was actually part of the script. Because Michael Keaton just wanted to go absolutely nuts in this one moment, and he did. And I think the director, Tim Burton, loved it, so he kept it in, because he wanted to try and match the chaotic behavior of Jack Napier, and that's what he did.
Either way, I'm glad it's in there.
I'm glad it's in there too.
There's another thing I enjoyed. There was a 60s Batman animated movie where Batman becomes evil. He actually uses that line, and from that moment on, he starts quoting other Batman from other movies with Adam West as the voice. I'm like, oh my god, as soon as I heard that, you want to see nuts? I lost it. And I'm like, really? And then also he starts saying stuff from like the Christian Bale. He even does, I think, a Ben Affleck one. Yeah, and I was like, what? But it's like that line alone just like sticks out.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Vicky Vale is trying to be the shining light and trying to say, like, look, you don't have to do this, because Alfred actually lets Vicky into the Batcave. Because Knox is the one who says, hey, I found out something about Bruce Wayne. And that's how she finds out that he was orphaned because a mobster or criminal gunned down his parents.
Yeah.
And then I think that's when it kind of clicks to her, and then she goes to Alfred, and Alfred actually lets her in, because I think Alfred wants her to be the one to not have him be Batman anymore and just live life and don't die. Because Alfred feels that obligation to keep Bruce alive for the sake of his parents.
He's a father figure to him.
Well, yeah, he's old, and he's not going to be around forever to keep an eye on him. So.
Exactly. You don't have to be this playboy guy that you either agree with or you don't agree with. There can be somebody for you and who can help you and support you through this identity, this secret identity that you keep hidden. And maybe Vicky Vale is the one that can break you out of this mold. And he sees that there's something in them.
And she tries to tell him that. And I understand where Bruce Wayne's coming from, because if you ever have something like a burden or a guilt that has just been eating at you, not just you, but your soul, and it's almost like there it is in your grasp to take care of it, and somebody's trying to tell you, oh, don't worry about it now. It's kind of like, no, I got an itch, I need to scratch it. And on top of that, hundreds to thousands of people could die tonight.
It's the albatross around the neck.
Yep.
And she even says that one line about, I just gonna know we're gonna try to love each other, and he says, I'd like to, but he's out there right now, and I gotta go to work. You know, I mean, that's kind of like if you are, think about this too. When you have the knowledge that he does of self-defense and the resources to save so many people, I think if he were just to let that go
It's almost like an obligation or a calling. Or
Exactly. It's kind of like being a soldier, and if you're not doing what you're doing, why are you a soldier?
Right.
And it's almost like maybe just this one last mission.
Yeah. I'm going to destroy Axis chemicals, and I'm going to stop you from terrorizing the city and killing millions of people.
Yep. And the
With some
Joker
cartoon
tries
balloons.
and the Joker tries to bring in all those chemicals that are going to kill people through the balloons in the parade. And you see everybody freaking out.
He just wants to give people money. He wants to make Gotham great again. I mean, this is what he wants to do.
But honestly, I think that was probably like one of the coolest scenes, like the whole parade and the balloons and everything. And
when
then,
he brought out the gun to bring down the Batwing.
Yeah.
How did he fit that goddamn gun in his pants?
Yeah, just think about it. That whole time he's at the parade, he's dancing with this gun in his pants. I'm like, how? You're like bending over, pulling money out and throwing it.
That's my favorite. I love that gun.
Oh. Batwing shows up and dispatches of all the balloons.
He stole my balloons!
Bob, what did you do? Nothing.
Bob, gun.
Gonna need a moment or two alone, boy.
Poor Bob.
Poor Bob.
Poor Bob. I feel bad for him.
It's actually like, he doesn't really say much. And it's just like, he does so much for Jack. And also just like, give me your gun.
Give me your gun.
You failed. Bam. You failed me the one time.
Stole those balloons, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, he had an emotional attachment to those balloons.
Why didn't somebody tell me he had one of those things?
You already knew he had wonderful toys.
Yeah.
Are you surprised that he has a Batwing?
I guess so.
Yeah, shoots the goddamn Batwing down with
God.
a revolver that's as long as his own body, 6 feet long.
That's what I mean. I love that gun.
After the Batwing was just busy shooting at him with like Uzi machine guns and
like,
rocket launchers.
They were probably like 50 cals, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because like, out of the way it's hitting the asphalt and then exploding around him, like, that's a big round.
I mean, the Batmobile's also got those guns too.
I'm just saying, I think this movie, we know Batman kills people.
See, that's another thing I wanted to mention was that, not that he definitely wanted to kill Joker, but it was kind of like a kill out of necessity. Like, even when they're in the cathedral, there's that one dude that he tosses over in the
bell tower.
Yeah.
So fucking enthralling, because how dare this goddamn goon get the upper hand over Batman? Who the hell is this guy? He's stronger than him, maybe, but still.
But it was good, because it added another layer to Batman has a challenge. You can't just go to the boss. It's kind of like, you know how the boss has that right-hand guy that's basically like the hero's equal, and then you have that clashing of two titans. That's kind of like what that was.
It's the breaking point, because you need to feel the vulnerability for your hero, that there is a moment where they can lose. They might even die.
And he's already wounded a bit from the Batwing crashing.
Still fucking one shot.
I know, one shot.
357?
No.
357 Magnum revolver with a 6-foot-long barrel.
And it only gave the Joker just this little like,
yeah, just a tiny little kickback. That recoil should have shot him back like 5 feet.
Well, no, I'm like thinking, even with the recoil, it's the same amount of gunpowder, same bullet. The recoil would have been the same. It's just now the barrel's focusing it in at a further point. So I was like, yeah, the recoil might be precise. It's just the fact that now you're slowing the bullet down on the way out. So would it really shoot the plane out of the sky?
I remember my dad.
Man.
Yeah, of course it would.
That's like, I don't know, try to shoot a golf ball.
I remember my dad saying that's probably the most Hollywood part of this whole movie. Yeah, probably.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I love that Batman throws Joker's own line right back at him right before he decks him in the face, and he's spitting the fake teeth out of his mouth, and Joker's completely unmatched. One punch to his chest, and he's already, like, probably broken some fingers.
I still think you get one of the best lines. Would you hit a guy with glasses and puts these fake glasses?
And then bam! I love it when, when Keaton did do the... He doesn't even do the Batman voice. He actually does have a Batman voice if you guys pay attention to it. He doesn't sound like Michael Keaton when he's in the costume.
I mean, it's not as exaggerated as Christian Bale's. But...
Yeah.
Not the smoker's cough, but...
Right.
But he just lets his voice be a little natural when he does the... Excuse me. You ever dance with a dildo pan?
Yes, that's definitely...
And then bam!
Definitely Bruce Wayne right there.
I loved it. oh man, the cinematography in this movie was just unfucking real.
Mm-hmm.
It had everything. Like, I don't understand why so many people just say this isn't. They feel like it's a mess of a movie, and I'm like, not really. This has so many great elements to what a great movie should be.
It keeps moving. It's got a compelling hero and villain. It never drags.
The ending's climatic.
Yes, it is.
I don't think it slows down at all, really.
Yeah.
No. Every scene's there for a reason. There's no scene in there just to pad on the runtime.
And it looks like as it's going on, it starts building up more. From, let's say, the moment of the museum to the parade, you start seeing everything escalate. Where most movies at that point, like, you've got that, it might have been the museum, it might drop a little bit.
You got that mid-movie slow down, yeah.
Yeah, and then shoot right back up. No, this actually kept building because it's like, well, we want this end fight to be the pinnacle.
Right.
You don't want the pinnacle in the middle of the fucking movie and this drop off.
Right.
Where hit the tip of the mountain and just go.
Yeah, where Tim Burton was like, no, let's keep building. And then the end, even the ending was like, not even over the top. It was so well done. Like the fight, like you said, the mid-boss to the full boss. And, and like you're getting this nice, cool backdrop of the church bell tower and the fight in there. Even when he drops the bell down to try to hit Batman with it was a really cool scene.
Yeah, it is. Traps the cops. The cops can't get through. They got to find some other way to get around.
And they thought about everything because, like, if the cops would have got up there, they would have just shot Joker for no fucking reason at all because, he's a psychopath. But if they used the bell to stop the cops from coming in, now it is only Batman and Joker, which was more of a fun fight. But in the whole time, we didn't realize that Joker already had a helicopter coming until it shows up. And that I thought was actually pretty cool. He's like, ha ha!
And in between the fight with Batman and his little Joker goons, Joker's just dancing on the rooftop with Vicky Vale. Just like, I don't give a fuck,
I've won.
See, for me, my favorite part of the movie is the whole bell tower thing. Like, I love it.
It's great. It's very climactic.
And then when you think, after Batman knocks Joker off the bell tower with the, you wouldn't hit a guy with glasses on, would you, huh? You think he's gone, and both Vicky and Batman lean over, and no, Joker grabs him, and you said terrifying, boom! Yeah. Then you see both of them go, and it's like, no, the bad guy's got the upper hand again?
Yeah.
It's like, when will this end?
And then Batman's like, I got this one toy in my utility right now that can, if I time it right, it will latch your legs to this gargoyle statue.
It was just, if you look at Michael Keaton's face, too, it's that you're not getting away face.
I've won. Because there's no way he was getting out of that. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. He's
literally
gripping onto this ladder like
on a gargoyle yet.
This thing is
Joker to a gargoyle while he's clinging onto a ladder on the helicopter with gloves on, so it's gonna slip even more.
Mm-hmm.
With 3 rungs, and you just see the 1, the 2, and then by the time the music kind of even plays to let you know he might actually be getting away.
Yeah, because it kind of looked like the helicopter was kind of trying to get back over where he would just fall back on the rooftop. But
yeah,
and nope.
Bye-bye.
That's probably another scene where it's a little animated where
when it falls.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if it was attached to his leg, didn't that gargoyle break?
It broke at the end.
Yeah,
it broke at the end. That's why it was weighing him
when
down.
When you see the body, you actually see the wings and stuff shattered.
Because that's the thing, wouldn't he actually just hit the side of the building, which is still devastating, but
still quite a drop.
Yeah.
He ain't surviving that. I don't care who you are.
And then as we see Joker fall, Batman's getting ready to pick Vicky up, but because Joker was kicking the blocks that they were hanging on to, they get loose and they fall, and Batman clings on to Vicky and shoots a batarang, and they're safe. But it looks like it's not going to attach to anything right away, but then it does, and it's like, oh my god, the suspense.
Yeah.
And then you get the last segment of Joker on the ground with the laughing powder. Yeah, he's still going.
He's still laughing.
He's got the last laugh, even in death.
Another reason for that was Tim Burton had said he didn't want to make it quite like a Jason or a Freddy, but he wanted to give people that illusion that, maybe there's a chance he could come back.
Mm.
And even Commissioner Gordon gave that kind of like confused look, like, what is this supposed to mean when he takes that laughing box out?
It's mysterious. That really is.
Awesome.
And then he gave us a signal!
They call a town hall meeting, everybody gathers, they talk about how Batman actually left him a note, and Harvey Dent reads it off.
Mm-hmm.
and Vicky meets up with Knox, and he's all right. And she said, I'm not even going to cover this for the press conference. And Harvey Dent says, if there's ever an issue with crime, call me. And Knox says, well, how do we call him? And that's when Commissioner Gordon... What, Jeff?
I'm just saying, so
you're telling me...
Well, no. Yeah, actually, so you are telling me the fact that he had somebody build this, and then they had to deliver it and hook it to power up. No one fucking noticed
No one do it.
This thing is what, like 4 foot?
In front of what, City Hall?
Yeah.
Where did this come from?
It's like solar powered? What? Who the fuck's like? Hey, what are they doing over there?
How do they get it to the roof?
Yeah. Bruce Wayne probably walks over like, hey, I was told to deliver this.
Yeah.
If I survive this whole ordeal, please turn the signal on, because I've been working on it as I've been trying to catch the Joker.
The whole time, it was probably Alfred the whole time. He just built it, they delivered it, he hooked it up.
Well, we also got to remember that Vicky's not in the same outfit that she was in the Night of the Cathedral, and she does look cleaned up. She does look not hurt either. She's not bloody or cut or nothing. So this could also just be a span of a few nights.
Well, yeah, it's definitely not the next day, but...
Yeah.
But it still proves my point. Who the fuck built this and didn't rat him out?
Maybe he had it. It was just a matter of time of when he was gonna...
Just gonna fucking let it sit in the Batcave, get moldy, and like, oh, I guess I gotta wheel it out right now.
You know how much other shit he has in the Batcave?
Fucking
I would not be surprised if Alfred did build that thing, because he tailored the bat suits. He keeps the Batcave clean. I'm pretty sure he built the signal.
He was a doctor, a dad, a soldier.
Psychiatrist.
Yep. And he cooks a damn good chicken parm. I don't know.
Maybe he does.
I remember that's probably from the second movie where he's like, the soup's cold. It's fishy schwa, sir. It's supposed to be closed.
He's just not good at giving Bruce Wayne horseback riding lessons.
Yeah, apparently.
in the one scene.
Maybe he gave him the Sean Young too, and that's what happened.
Oh. Burn.
Hey, she went nuts then. She said she tried to audition for Catwoman in the second one, and she showed up in a Warner Brothers office, dressed up and was jumping on couches and shit, saying, "I am Catwoman." And
really?
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh no."
Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
That was really wonderful. But thank you for coming in. But going back to that Danny Elfman score, you just get that camera shot rising up the building, and there's the orchestra continuing to pound, and you just get Batman staring at his own signal with the bell ringing.
It's a
best way to
triumphant
end
ending.
this.
It's like one of the most triumphant endings with a really cool shot. Like, you get triumphant endings and you're like, man, that's really cool. But you get one with this iconic shot, and that's just throughout the whole movie. Is iconic shot after iconic shot. Like, introduction to the characters of the Batmobile, the Batwing up in the moon, the bat signal.
As much as that is a really iconic shot, it is kind of cheesy because
it's
like, oh hey, I'm gonna go and try to save the city, but first
let me do this.
I know.
Get your fucking phones out, motherfucker.
It's great.
But yeah, like you said, it's a really iconic shot. It's really cool to see, but practicality, it's like, really, dude? Mm-hmm. I'm goddamn Batman.
That's what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where they got the idea for the bat signal. He flew in front of the moon, and then they're like, hey, I got an idea.
You all will know me after this, bitches.
Who does that? Only Batman.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah, because Superman punches the shit out of everybody. Flies in, hey.
Superman's got the sun, Batman's got the moon.
There it is.
Great movie.
Oh my god, this is a fantastic movie.
But honestly, when they reused the Batman theme in the
Justice League?
I was trying to think. I was going to say the newer Justice League, but not yet the newer Justice League. Justice League, I thought it was actually a cool little throwback.
I thought so too. It was because Danny Elfman said that's Batman's theme.
Yeah, and the fact that he did the score for that made it even better. I was like, it was just one of those things. Watching that movie, all of a sudden it's Batman rolling by, all of a sudden the theme starts. I'm like, oh shit!
Yeah, he did. He put that in there for a reason.
It's just like how they use the theme for the animated series as well. Not only was a lot taken from that first movie in the consideration to make that cartoon, but yet the theme music, I mean, it is different, but yet you hear it and you go, oh, that's from the first movie.
I said that, and like I think that first season was a little bit darker than the rest of the seasons. Like how this was a little bit darker than the rest of the movies.
Oh yeah,
This is very, very much so.
But I was gonna be a smart ass and go. So wait, you're telling me that Joker singing "Jingle Bells, Batman Smells" is from the?
That's the first season.
Yeah, the first episode.
Yeah.
Joker episode.
And it was just funny because like when you said that's all I could think of.
I know they're actually rebooting it. They're actually adding a couple more seasons of Batman the Animated Series, but they're going to be completely redoing it for HBO Max. Now, I'll give it a shot, because if they can get some of the original talent, some of the original creators behind this, if Kevin Conroy still has it in him to be Batman, I'm sure he does.
You're talking about he is Batman, right? He's been doing it longer than anybody.
Oh yeah. Video, not just not the show, but the video games as well. And Mark Hamill, I'm sure he's going to be doing Joker until the day he dies. So you get those people back in, you get the creative talent that was a part of the animated series way back in the 90s, and apply it to this new retooled or rebooted version of the Batman animated series. It could be good. I'll give it a shot. I mean, we're seeing it everywhere. Looney Tunes got a reboot. Animaniacs got a reboot. It's happening everywhere.
So good too.
Yeah, I was impressed with that one. But honestly, if they follow the same concept they were doing with the Harley Quinn show, I could see them kind of like, it's retooled, but still kind of keep the same old concept. Would be kind of cool.
The thing about the animated series, though, was there was a magic to the art that they had, and you saw that it was totally gone when they did that Volume 4, and they changed the costumes and the way the characters looked and stuff. It just wasn't the same.
And Robin became more a prominent character than he should have been.
Yeah.
They should keep the style of the original animation to this new rebooted version. I would.
They
love
should.
That. They should keep the same style.
That's what everybody loves, and I hear people bitch the most about is when they changed the animation and they said it's not the same. And I'm like, I know, I couldn't watch it after that. But I'm going back to Batman 89. I can't say enough good things about this movie. Is it perfect? No, it's definitely not. It's kind of got a cliche good versus evil story. And I think that goes in part with like this 10-year process of, all right, we just want to make this movie. It doesn't have to be so original that, it's exceptionally original. Just tell the good guy versus bad guy. And I think it was actually Tim Burton who made Joker be the killer of Batman's parents, because there was a writer strike. The original writer did not put that in, and I believe he didn't put in Vicky coming into the Batcave.
Okay.
And I think it works out a hell of a lot better to have those elements, because, yeah, it breaks things we know about Batman now, but a lot of people didn't know what we know about Batman now. So it's its own standalone movie. And in that, it's a champion in the franchise to itself, because none of them have emulated that since. Even Batman Returns is like its own movie.
Very much so. It does acknowledge a couple scenes from Batman, Vicky Vale basically moving on.
Right.
She is mentioned.
Her, yeah.
She is mentioned in Batman Returns. Thank God. So it didn't feel like it was a complete rebooted sequel.
Right. So it does feel like a little bit of continuity between them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The original also has more story and structure to it. When I felt like Batman Returns, I heard this describes it best as probably style over substance.
Yeah.
It's a lot more
too much Tim Burton
in your face look than what the story actually was.
Mm-hmm. I still enjoy the movie though, but people
so do
felt
I.
like it's too much Tim Burton. And that's been the popular criticism, I guess, that Batman 89 has gotten, where it felt too whimsical and it just wasn't quite Batman, but still.
See, I think there was a well-balanced, because people knew of the show and knew of the comic books as well, obviously. So to give it a real Batman, but still give that love for the people that grew up with the show, you got a healthy balance of this is what Batman is. And it's such like a whimsical world to begin with anyway. I mean, you're dealing with...
It's straight out of a comic book.
Exactly. So why not have a little more fun with it? Yeah. And I think it was very well balanced and doesn't get the credit that it does. And I think it still holds up super well to this day. I mean, yeah, there's the points that we pointed out that were dated, obviously. I know, like, 10 years ago, I think Kevin Smith said, oh, man, this movie looks so dated. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Just for a few things. I mean...
Listen, that man writes dick and fart jokes for a living. He doesn't really, even know what cameras are. All I can think of is when Bruce Willis yelled at him during a cop-out.
Well,
oh, yeah.
Well, don't forget, him and Tim Burton also had a little spat going on.
But did they really? Okay.
Oh yeah, something about, believe it or not, that shitty Planet of the Apes movie. I think Kevin Smith had a comic book, or like a Jay and Silent Bob comic book, where they put the ape over Abraham Lincoln's like statue in the Lincoln Memorial in a comic book, and then they put that in the Planet of the Apes movie at the very end. And they said, "Oh, we're going to threaten to sue Tim Burton." He said he wasn't serious, but somehow Tim Burton's publicist got a hold of it, and then Tim Burton actually said, "I don't even know who Kevin Smith is." And then for a while there, Kevin Smith was writing "fuck Tim Burton" on like autographs or something.
Really?
Oh my God.
Yeah, watch his was it An Evening with Kevin Smith? He talks about it there.
Really?
All I remember was the Prince one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's weird to me because Kevin Smith was also the writer of the new Superman movie, and Tim Burton was going to direct it.
I know.
With Nicolas Cage as the Man of Steel. They were going to be collaborating with one another.
Well, this was before that was before Planet of the Apes.
That was before Planet of the Apes.
I would just for
And that apparently was the original ending to Planet of the Apes, with the ape's face on the Lincoln Memorial. That's apparently how it was in the source material.
Wait, like in the Charlton Heston one?
Yeah, well, it was the Statue of Liberty in the Charlton Heston one, but in the novel Planet of the Apes, that was actually how it was ending.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a
Tim Burton ending is actually the one that's faithful to the novel. I'm glad that didn't happen in the 1960s version, but
yeah, the Statue of Liberty is more iconic.
I'm pretty sure Tim Burton doesn't like talking about his Planet of the Apes movie at all. I'm pretty sure he doesn't like talking about it. So
yeah, well, in that Playboy interview that I read, he did say that he didn't want to do a sequel to it. He'd rather jump out of a window.
There you go.
Yeah, explains a lot.
just can't get enough of this movie. Anytime it's on, I watch it. Doesn't matter what part it's on. I'm tuned in.
Yeah, I honestly don't have a least favorite scene. I don't even know if I have a favorite scene because I just love them all. I mean, just from being like an art buff, a film buff, to all around, I just think this movie's a total package where I just want to watch everything about it. It doesn't matter what part it's at. I'll just watch it. There might be kind of like a song to me where you get in the mood to hear this one song and you just gotta listen to it. Sometimes I'm like, all right, I just want to watch the chemical vat, scene.
Yeah.
Or I just want to watch the museum or the cathedral or the bat, all that sort of stuff.
But I agree, it's one of those few movies that if I'm clicking around and it's on, no matter what part it's at, I'll finish watching it.
Yeah. If I had to pick a favorite scene, I probably would pick the museum scene, actually, because you've got Joker's moment to shine, you've got his awesome introduction, and then to the scene, and then you've got Batman's epic introduction to the scene, dropping through the skyline, and then making the escape, and then the introduction to the Batmobile, and all the cool gadgets, what it can do. It swings around that corner and causes the other Joker mobiles to crash into the fruit stands. And then you have him get basically his best fight scene that was filmed, where he's taking on one goon after another. The guy's got the two swords. He's blocking it with all the gauntlets. And just one move takes these guys down. That's probably my favorite scene. It was between that and the bell tower scene, but it's always going back to the museum scene, how it progresses, and then the lead into the Batcave. Good stuff going on there.
Jeff?
Honestly, I was thinking about it. It's probably gonna be the parade in the plane, even though I made fun of the gun scene.
That gun's awesome.
I know, but as I made fun of the two major points of that sequence, it's a really fun one to watch because you're literally watching how everyone react when money's being thrown around, and then finally finding out what the Joker toxin really is doing to people, and you're just seeing everyone go ape shit. And Knox is trying to get everybody out of the fucking way. He gets his ass kicked anyway.
He does.
But yeah, it is one of those cool all around sequences that's probably fun to watch because there's a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
But the one scene that I thought of when you were talking was when he saves Vicky Vale. And he uses the grappling gun. He asks her how much he weighs. And they get halfway up. And he looks at her like...
You weigh a little more than 108.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, really?
Do you have a scale? Oh, God.
What about you, Troy?
Oh, mine's definitely the bell tower of the cathedral. It's just a natural build to the final climax. I love it.
You have any least favorite scene or anything you don't like about it?
I don't like about it? maybe giving the Joker the origin like that for me was, but I get why they did it, but for me being a huge Joker fan, I don't like the fact that he had a backstory.
Because his backstory is multiple choice. I remember it this way,
that's why
but maybe I remember it this way.
As chaotic and as creepy as he is, because no one knows who he is. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I get why they did it for the movie. I understand. But yeah, that'd probably be it.
All right,
cool.
I was thinking there's another scene that you're talking about. It's terrifying. That's when he gets a plastic surgery to fix his face, and it becomes that permanent smile.
Oh yeah, that's also.
Oh yeah, you just see all like the cotton balls and stuff.
Yeah,
with the blood
and he's like unwrapping.
Yeah.
It's like a mummy, the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
The Invisible Man.
That's what I was thinking of, the Invisible Man. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. You just see Mirror, and he smashes the light bulb, and you just see like the red neon lights in the background. It's Surgeon.
And
Those are some sick tools that guy has on display.
Oh my god, yeah.
Right?
It's like, they really cutting your face up with that thing?
It's like torture instruments.
And he goes, you see what I have to work with here?
Why are you smiling? Because life's been good to me.
Oh man.
As you're talking about like how terrifying it is, I'm like, all right, I can see it. That's the one scene that'll actually stick out to me because like how darkly lit it is, and like just like at that one random bulb, and at least the whole Invisible Man rap.
Yeah, that and the jump scare with the hand in the box.
No, yeah. Oh my god. Damn that fucking hand in the box with the dead flowers.
It gets me every time.
Even when Batman takes the dude, like, scissors legs him and fucking throws him down the tower, because you're like, well, what's going to happen? And then he's just like, boom, bam! It's like, whoa!
Cracks his head on the fucking bell first, and then drops his ass down the bell tower.
Or even when he first makes the entrance up into the bell tower, and the music stops, and it's all quiet, and he's just walking around, and then Joker says, can it be truly said that I have a bat in my belfry? Just like the little laughs, and then Michael Keaton's eyes. Oh my god, dude. Like, they said the reason why he got that part was because of his eyes. And his eyes just tell a story. Oh,
that's
I love me some Jack. I love Jack.
Yeah. And they did incorporate the black makeup around his eyes to try and hide more of his physical features when he's wearing the bat suit.
Oh, yeah. That's a staple in doing those Batman movies. I know they have that real serious blooper in Batman Returns. Like, right before he's getting ready to rip the mask off.
His eyes are
clean.
they
took the makeup off around the eyes.
Oh, shit. Wipe that off real quick.
Yeah.
It's like, if they would have, like, hidden it a little more, or maybe did, like, a cutaway, like, as he's ripping it, and then do it. It's like, yeah.
Oh, at the end with, what's his face? With
Chris Walken.
Chris Walken and Catwoman.
Yeah. It's gonna be a pain in the ass though. In order to like get that mask off, like in an instant, he's got to rip the thing off of the suit.
That could have been a stunt mask for that scene too.
I know, but good stuff.
Yeah, this movie definitely molded my love for films, and just as a combination of everything I love, with like gothic horror, film noir, mystery, suspense, even recognizing, like I said, the elements of Halloween where it's the scary guy and you got to wear the costume to scare the evil elements away. And the ironic thing is, the evil dark character is actually the one
He's actually the good guy.
Yeah, is in the bright, vibrant colors, and then the hero is in the dark colors. And like you said, Troy, the evil dark character is actually the good guy.
Good guy, yeah.
Because he's tormented. And there's just like so much that I feel like was just so perfect about it, that like a comic book movie, like out of the pages, I feel like is what it really nailed. Which is what I think a lot of these comic book movies are lacking nowadays. They're always trying to get this hint of realism. You know, like how in the X-Men movies they don't have Wolverine and the yellow spandex, or at least the colors. Sorry, Troy, I know that's hitting a nerve with you.
Oh god. 15 movies and not even once.
But sound effects, action, horror, suspense, mystery, detective work, romance, music, just as everything that makes a great movie. And I mean, it's flawed, it's far from perfect, but it has the great elements that I feel like can really influence anybody. And it's also a movie for anybody to watch. One of the coolest stories that my parents told me was that they took me to see this movie at a drive-in at 2 years old. That's another reason why it kind of holds close to my heart.
This is the first movie I drove to myself when I got my license.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Nice.
And in 2019, they had the 30th anniversary. They played them back in theaters, and I jumped on the opportunity to go see this again. And man, was that a lot of fun watching this movie in the theater.
I love the fact that you can pinpoint your love of movies to a movie too. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, and I knew it growing up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd probably say the movies that really influenced me, definitely this one. Believe it or not, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Good movie.
I'd probably say Terminator 2 and The Crow.
All
Crow.
good movies.
Oh, yeah.
Mine was probably the original Clash of the Titans.
Really?
Wow, I just saw that recently, too.
I actually saw it in the movie theater. That's how old I am.
One of the last couple movies to use, oh my god, like Ray Harryhausen's claymation and his monster designs. Oh, so cool.
Yep. I love that movie.
Yeah.
That is a fun movie.
Yeah. As Jack Napier will say, hey, life's been good to me. And a message to all those mob bosses and those goon imitators that tried to get the upper hand. All I can say is this.
I'm glad you're dead.
I fucking love that laugh.
The one-liners, too. The incredible acting from everybody in the film. I mean, like, I can't really pinpoint bad things about it. I mean, yeah, I'm biased, I'll admit it, but I mean, if there's something bad about it, I will say it, like I have. But really, there's not much that holds close to me where I say, oh my god, I hate this part. So
I'm gonna say it's probably one of the few movies I don't get up and start doing stuff. Like, there's been movies I watch, I'm like, alright, it's decent, then start cleaning the fucking house.
It's like background noise.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything that they'd like to add to our Batman 89 episode?
All I can say is, Michael Keaton, I hope to God you play Batman in the new Flash movie, because this has been reported, and I hope this is true.
Yeah.
You deserve another crack at being Batman again, for all of our sake.
Yeah, we got it close in what, Birdman? He was a superhero.
Yeah,
that movie, I gotta tell
it's
you,
amazing.
I
Love
had
that
doubts
movie,
of
too.
being an actor, and that one speech, just the critic speech that he had in Birdman, when he just yells at her, slams the fucking cocktail drink down the ground, and says, I'm a fucking actor. Michael Keaton, I have never listened to you more closely than that goddamn scene. Because of you, in that scene, and in this movie, as Batman, you have never made me more proud to be an actor. Seriously. I fucking love you, man.
Yeah, dude, I love Birdman. That movie's great.
Yeah, it's good.
I love it. One of my favorites.
We almost did get a third Batman movie with Tim Burton and Keaton.
I heard that.
There was even molds of Keaton in a third Batman suit. And it was kind of going back to the lines of what the original costume was going to look like.
I was like, what else are they going to change? Like, yeah, they made it a little slimmer, but...
Well, the emblem, it was going to have the same emblem from Batman Returns.
Okay.
And the abs were going to come back. It wasn't going to look all like kind of techno-y like they did before. And the belt was going to be different.
Okay.
But they were going to bring back more muscle tone to it. And then...
They decided to go the Joel Schumacher.
I don't know what the story is with that. I heard Tim Burton wasn't too keen about doing a second one, and then somebody said, well, why don't you think about doing it as a Tim Burton movie instead of a Batman movie like what you did in the first one? And then he was thinking about doing a third movie, and like from what Tim Burton said, he was getting the ball rolling and having meetings with Warner Brothers, and then he said you could just tell that they weren't interested, and he said, I feel like you guys don't want me to do a third one, and they were like, no, that's not it. He's like, no, I get it. And
I know, sometimes I think Warner Brothers needs to get their shit together.
I agree.
Think about it, too, like Sam Raimi and the Spider-Man movies. So, like, the first two were decent, and the third one was kind of shit. So, it makes you wonder if
He was just didn't want that to happen.
They almost greenlit the third Joel Schumacher movie called Batman Triumphant, and Nicholson would have returned as Joker for about maybe 2 minutes or so. Writing the most expensive scene in cinematic history, where you have Batman up against Catwoman, Penguin, Two-Face, the Riddler, and Joker, all from their portrayals from the actors in the past movies, for a 2-minute scene against the Scarecrow.
I was going to say, was he high?
He was on toxic gas from the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
That was the idea of the third Batman Triumphant movie when the Joel Schumacher canon, and I'm glad it didn't happen, because, as I said, expensive. Batman and Robin flopped heavily, which is hence why we got Batman Begins.
Oh my god.
And I think the third Tim Burton movie was supposed to be kind of like a Batman Begins, and it was like going to have more of the flashbacks of his training leading up to a current time.
I know, this will always be my Batman movie because I'm not a fan of the Christopher Nolan movies.
That almost kind of sounds like Darren Aronofsky's portrayal of Batman Year One, because that was almost made instead of Batman Begins.
Well, I remember I heard that from Michael Keaton because he said somebody asked him if he watched Batman Begins yet, and I don't think he said he watched the whole thing, but from what he saw, he said that was supposed to be our third Tim Burton.
I just think it dragged a lot of the movie, Batman Begins.
I actually like that a lot. Out of all the Christopher Nolan movies, I think that was the better one.
I still enjoy all of them, but yeah. Michael Keaton, please play Batman again. Please be in the Flash movie. Be an older Batman. Be you, man. Because on your deathbed, you will say, I am Batman. On your tombstone, it will say, I am Batman. And we will all agree with you.
So I believe that'll wrap things up.
Thanks, guys. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
Thank you, Troy. Thanks, man. Thanks
Ladies and gentlemen, Troy Schneck.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
So, to all the listeners, we just want to say thank you all once again for listening. This is Collin Peters.
John Rochetter.
Jeff Manfred.
And with that, we are signing off. Stay safe. Stay crazy.
Please, somebody help me.
Oh, yeah.